Welcome back to Mr. Orr's Flipped Classroom for Grammar. Today, a quick look at verbs. Remember, verbs are words that express an action, a condition, or a state of being. Three main types of verbs. Action verbs are verbs that express an action. Linking verbs are verbs that link or connect the subject to the main word in the predicate. These are not action verbs. Most commonly, linking verbs are forms of be and forms of have. Also can be other words such as looks, appears, and smells. Those kind of sensory words which don't indicate that someone's actually doing that. If the house smells musty, it's not sniffing anything. The house is musty. With linking verbs, you can always consider replacing that linking verb with a form of be, whichever is appropriate to the verb tense and to agree with the subject. If the form of be fits in that sentence and doesn't dramatically change the meaning, then the word you replaced is also a linking verb. Finally, auxiliary or helping verbs. In 9th grade, we start focusing on using the term auxiliary as opposed to a helping verb. But for right now, they're close synonyms. They're used before an action or linking verb to show tense or agreement. There are also forms of be and have, as well as words like may, will, should, could, etc. A couple of terms to know. Transitive verbs are action verbs that have a direct object. Intransitive verbs are action verbs that do not have direct objects. So another way to thinking about verbs are either transitive action verbs, intransitive action verbs, linking verbs, or auxiliary verbs. How to do it? Well, the steps don't really change much. Always find the verb, all parts of it, especially now because you might be looking at a helping verb as part of the possibilities. Start by looking for action verbs first. Folks tend to be more comfortable and confident doing this because they have more experience. If so, great. Don't be too tentative to avoid checking to see if what you think is an action verb might in fact be a linking verb by trying to replace it with a form of be. Action verbs won't work replacing it with a form of be, such as is, am, are, was, were, etc. And double check for auxiliary verbs using your list. Is it like one of those words? If it's should, well, you can have should on your list, and could and would do the same job. May and shall can even kind of do the same job. So you don't need to have a comprehensive list of helping verbs in order to have enough to know how to check. Practice. I will have walked 13 miles by the time you reach home. In this sentence, we have the first verb is walked. We check for helping verbs. We have will and have are both auxiliary verbs. Reach is another verb. No helping verbs in front of it before the simple subject. Therefore, it's just a verb by itself. Reach is an action verb, as is walked. The sea appeared calm. Appear can be an action verb if it means something like poof out of thin air appearing. It also can be a way of just saying it looked a certain way. The sea appeared calm. This is past tense. So we need to choose either was or were to test it. Sea was or the sea were. Was makes more sense. The sea was calm. We haven't changed the meaning much. Appeared is a stronger word choice, but we haven't changed what's happening in the sentence. Therefore, appeared is actually going to be considered a linking verb because it gets replaced by a form of be, in this case was. Exercise are in the packet. Take your time. This lesson, your main job is just to identify whether a verb is action, or linking, or auxiliary. If you're not too strong with transitive and intransitive just yet, there'll be more time and more practice. Start with these first three. Good hunting.